So I'm just feeling computer challenged this morning. Uh, get things out of in front of me. So I'm going to pin the video just because I think that's a little bit friendlier for the share. And then when we get to the questions and answers, I'll hopefully remember to take the pin off. So there we go. Um, Kalen, unfathomable. Yes. That's very funny. So we always begin with intention. So we'll do intention, posture, masters, and then we'll go into the practice. The pattern of the practice, at least for this week, is going to be fairly similar. So we'll start with, and I'll invite everybody to put yourself back on mute so we don't get the sound carryover. Um, we'll always start with a very short calm abiding practice, and that's because calm abiding establishes a good foundation for which to sort of leap into the essence Mahamudra. You can leap without the foundation, but it's a little bit friendlier to yourself to do the calm abiding first, right? So let's start with the intention. The intention for the Essence Mahamudra practice is to keep coming back to the taken for granted, flowing, alive quality of being aware. So that's called TGS or Tamel Geshepa. So we keep coming back to that. And we're trying to rest in being aware. So just simply the way the mind normally is, naturally is every day, it is all the time. It's been that way as long as you've had a mind, right? So we're just coming back to natural mind, right? So that's the view. And we set our posture. So take a good awake posture, body and mind intimately connected. So what you do with one affects the other. So if you take a nice settled posture with your body, your mind is inclined to settle and calm. So that's very much part of our calm abiding. And then from that, you can have the space, the internal space to notice the taken for granted quality of awareness and then come back again and notice it again and come back again. So establish your posture. And then remember the masters. And the masters, the way this is usually taught, the masters include whoever gave you the instruction, um, and anyone else you think has been able to rest in this kind of quality of just open awareness. So it doesn't have to be somebody famous, doesn't have to be somebody with a title or, you know, foreign or, you know, there's lots of there's an expression in meditation, the everyday guru or the upa guru, right? There's a lot of people who have shown you this, so you could remember them, and they want to share with you their ability to do it. There's sort of a secret that once you understand this, then sharing it with people appropriately, that's a hard thing to figure, when's it appropriate, when's it not. But when you share it or you talk about it with your friends who or also do the practice, it gets better. So sharing increases it. So having set the intention, established the posture, called on the masters, we begin. So we're going to spend just a few minutes, like 3 or 4 minutes, with calm abiding. So it doesn't really matter what level of the practice you do. You've all had lots of meditation time. So just take a minute and allow your mind to settle. One of the things that I know has been repeated frequently in our times together has been that each practice has an intention. So the intention in calm abiding is to bring yourself present, focused, alert. We're not working with the TGS yet. We're just trying to get focused and present. So it's a very short time to bring yourself present. So I'll just encourage that if it feels like it's too fast for you, you could continue to practice calm abiding, or you could practice a little bit of calm abiding before we begin. Either way would work. But because we're studying and practicing Essence Mahamudra, this is where I'm going to shift to that practice. You're welcome to join in. And the intention of Essence Mahamudra, so we always begin with the intention, is, or sometimes it's called the view, is we're trying to connect with that taken for granted, flowing, alive quality of being aware. So the taken for granted, flowing aliveness. So you just allow your attention or your awareness to open. And whatever is happening, the wonderful thing about Essence Mahamudra practice is that it just welcomes whatever is happening. It's completely and totally accepting. It could be something really happy happening. You could feel really good. Maybe you had a wonderful night's sleep. Or it could be the sneeze I'm about to have. Whatever. Whatever is happening just gets accepted as an expression of awareness. And so when your mind sort of grabs hold of whatever the experience is, then you can pause. So we're going to open up the instruction a bit. So there's a noticing where you sort of, you see, oh, right, I'm holding on to that experience. It could be a thought, a memory, a feeling, a physical sensation like sneezing. So you sort of the recognition moment I'm calling a pause, and then you relax your grip on it. You're just allowing it to be whatever it is, and then seeing if you can open your awareness to whatever is happening. Just this alive flow. Almost no one can stay there. If you can stay there, that's great. That's wonderful. Please do. But if you find your mind grabbing hold of, your attention grabbing hold of the next thought, the next memory, then that's your opportunity. So completely accepting, allowing it to be whatever it is, pause, relax, open. So either way is good. Staying open is wonderful. The next opportunity to open once more, wonderful. So again, wherever you are in the practice, that's perfectly fine. What we're trying to do is notice when our awareness has grabbed hold of something. It could be a thought, a memory, a feeling. We've sort of closed in on that. We're holding it. And then we pause. We recognize that we've done that. We relax and open. So it's pause, relax, open. And what we're opening to is just the everyday, taken for granted flow of being aware. Sometimes that flow seems a little bit elusive. It's like, what are we looking for? And one of the best ways to find it is that whatever you held on to, the memory, the thought, the feeling, the sensation, that's expressing being aware. That's how you see it or feel it or experience it. So you're having a memory and it's like, all right, that's awareness. That's that's the fish swimming down the river or the leaf floating on top of the stream. It's, oh, right, there it is. Except it's not the content, it's not the memory, it's the ability to be aware of it. Or it could be a physical sensation. Oh, there it is. Pause, relax, open. So the view of Mahamudra is that this taken for granted, alive flow of awareness is always happening. It's always been happening. Whenever you notice what you've grabbed hold of, the awareness is right there. You don't have to make it up. It's already always there, waiting for you, just to notice. Pause, relax, open. And the awareness that you're opening to, that's what it's like to be awake. There's not some other special awake waiting around the corner. It's just being aware. Allow the sound of the bell to call your attention back from the practice of Essence Mahamudra to how you normally hold your attention. Look around, trigger the reorienting reflex. So I want to say one thing before I remove the pin, and my style that I want to adopt, at least for this week, is every day I'm going to add a little bit. And so this might be helpful to you, it might not, but it sort of enriches the discussion. So it's useful, we added the 3 steps, pause, relax, open. So that was an addition today. And the other thing that I'd like to add is that there are 3 classical ways to study and practice Mahamudra. So we are doing essence practice. We're going right at this is the experience. This is the core experience that we're trying to cultivate. This is what it's like to be awake. Right? The closer you get to just being able to rest in open awareness, the flowing aliveness, the closer you are to being awake. That's the essence practice. There are two other styles. One is it's called analytical. It's an intellectual style with a lot of contemplation, and it might start with something like, well, allow your mind to become still with as few thoughts as possible, and then look. Contemplate. Where is that still mind? Does it have a color? Does it have a shape? And it goes through all of these questions and you're contemplating, and that's one style, right? Which aims at taking you to the experience of the essence. And it takes you to the experience of the essence by exhausting your intellect, creating something called cognitive dissonance. So we're just going right to the experience. So we're doing essence, not the analysis and the intellectual contemplation. It's a very useful exercise to do if you want. Right? The third style I'm going to call Tantra Mahamudra. And that's with all the Tibetan fancy rituals and the visualization and the mantras and the physical postures and we're trying to exhaust how we hold on to awareness being something different to take us to the essence. Also a very useful experience and very useful practice. But the inspiration for awakening the sky within was, well, not everybody wants to take the intellectual route, and not everybody has hours and hours or years and years to do the Tantra practice. Could we just go right to the essence? And so that's why we're practicing Essence Mahamudra. So the piece I wanted to add today is that there are three styles: essence, analysis, and Tantra. And we're practicing the essence one. So having noted that, I'm going to remove the pin. And if anybody's got a question or a thought, something you'd like to talk about, this would be a great time. I will just say one thing. I practice all three. Right? So all three are useful. It's not, Anyway, Tony, I think I saw your hand.
Yes. When you're talking when we're doing the Mahamudra, you keep saying the feelings, thoughts, and something else, but not so much like for sight and hearing. So if you see something where our eyes are open, it's something. You still just
Just
need
let
that, and
you notice
the same thing with hearing or sight or
yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
excellent.
I think what I'm saying is feelings, so that emotions, your thoughts, your physical sensations.
Okay, yeah.
So sight is actually part of your physical sensation. Like you're seeing something in the eyes and the whole thing, right? Same thing with hearing, it's a physical thing, right? So
Yeah.
it could be
No,
in
I was thinking, yeah. Perfect. Thank you.
or memory. I think that covers the bases, but if there's something I've left out, that too.
So I guess it would be anything that comes into your
And
consciousness, but
anything that you sort of go, oh right, I'm doing that. Like you'll feel that your ability to be aware instead of just being wide open has closed down on something. I'm calling that collapsed, but it's just my way of describing it. Right? It's like, oh, it's collapsed onto that one thing. Like, oh, my eyes are dry. I should put in some eye drops. Oh, I'm having a memory of. I'm thinking about what am I going to say next. Oh, I'm having a thought. Right? It's like,
okay. Great, thank you.
you're welcome, Robert.
So this question of, I don't remember the word, but what were the three words again? Pause,
Relax, open.
open. Okay. So I'm a little confused about the pause thing. I have in my mind this instruction of Suzuki Roshi about thoughts. Leave the front door and the back door open, let the thoughts come in and let them go, but don't serve them tea. It sounds a little...
I'm going to interrupt. Suzuki Roshi was wonderful. Let that go.
Okay. So I'm confused about the pause thing. Is it just recognition, move on, or am I holding it for a sec?
No, I think it's just recognition, move on.
Okay, that was what was confusing me. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. The pause is you stop holding on. So however long that takes you to to do, right? Like you might be you might have the thought from the quote from Suzuki Roshi come up, right? I mean, it's a wonderful quote and it's brilliant instruction. It's just a slightly different angle. So that's why I was like, let it go, right? But you have the thought come up. It's a worthy thought, and you see that you're having the thought, like your awareness has closed down onto that worthwhile thought. So
Close.
you've closed. So as soon as you recognize it, then you can relax and open. So that moment of recognition felt a little bit too highfalutin, my dad would say, right? So pause felt more conversational. Some people would say stop. That felt a little bit aggressive as I thought about it. But all of them are in the ballpark of like you notice and then you relax.
Yeah, I find pause me as a time component to it, which I don't, which
Okay.
confuses me. Anyway, thank you.
This is the problem with words. As soon as you get into a word, it means something it means lots of things to everybody, right? So, yeah. Anybody else?
Well, I can say one other thing if nobody's going to come in. It's like in a way, it's excruciating.
Yeah.
It's
How's-
like, get me out of here. This makes me crazy. That's where I am today.
How is it making, that's really interesting. And I think that's true. It's very, like a lot of people have that experience. How is it so?
It's like, I don't know where I am. Oh, have I is that the thought, or is it just taken for granted stuff? Am I holding on to it? No, it all slipped away. It's like, oh, where the fuck am I? And that it's like nowhere.
Well, that's a very interesting question, because this taken for granted quality, it's almost impossible to watch yourself do it.
Yeah.
So where am I? Nowhere.
Yeah. And that is intellectual.
Yes. And at the same time, it's also an experience. You're just in the taken for granted flow. There's no Robert there. I mean, I don't know how to try and say it. Like you can't watch it. You're just in the flow.
Yeah, there's a kind of a feeling of, first of the word that kept coming up was slippery.
Uh-huh.
And slippery, yeah. It just and a little bit lost.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Keep going there. Margaret, it looked like you wanted to say something.
Yeah, but what Robert's discussing is very interesting. I didn't want to interrupt. I think, well, I just have feels like eons, but I have years of psychological lens, for lack of a better word. So being able to actually let that go is beyond challenging. It's really difficult. So what I found this morning was, I just did this long retreat and I thought I let go and reshifted or whatever, right? And I was laughing somewhere in the middle of my practice. No, I just reconstructed my identity yet again. So
Right.
oh, get out of here, get out of here. Yes, you're very sophisticated, Margaret. You're very subtle, blah, 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 blah. Right, but you just did it all over again. So anyway, sense of humor is really helpful. And what's humbling, I think, is just there's always another level of fear
Mm,
for me. There's just all, like in that nowhere that Robert's trying
right.
to describe is fear for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So I'll just leave it there.
That's very helpful. When you pause, relax, and let go, and you find that Margaret's not there, or Brian's not there, or you're not there, there's just this taken for granted dynamic flow. And that is a bit scary because we're used to holding on to whoever it is we think we are as our safety. And the Tibetan word that gets translated as ego literally means holding on, holding on to that experience, right? And it's usually translated as ego, but it's actually self-holding. So, just holding on is a good translation. Dak dzin. Dak is self, right? And dzin is to hold. So that gets translated as ego. And we do that so habitually. It's sort of how, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's one of the things that's really, I think, powerful about Mahamudra practice is we use that. That's not our enemy, that's our ally. Like you notice yourself doing that, and that's your opportunity to open. And then you do it again, and so there you are, old friend. Do it again, right? Do it again. And eventually you realize that this and this, it's the same hand, right? In the gesture. Margaret taught me this gesture. It's so powerful in terms of, the teaching. It's like same hand, right? I haven't gone anywhere. I'm just doing it open, right? So we're just trying to open.
I want to acknowledge, you often say that I taught you that, but I want to acknowledge where I learned it, which is from Stanley Kellerman, who was a biologist who became a body worker and therapist in the 70s and 80s and ran an institute called, where he taught process body work. And he was a master at reading people's energy, body, whatever, right? And he would just walk inside your silent experience to those places where we don't have words.
Right.
So that's my authority for this.
Yeah.
And what he said was, this is the most fundamental movement of life.
Yeah.
So it's like amoebic. It's at the most elemental level. And in terms of physics, it's also the wave action.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the acknowledgement you do, Brian, but it's not from me.
Didn't make it up. Yeah.
It came from a biologist who was a very acute, astute observer of life.
Yeah.
Very precise.
Yeah. And I'll just add, one last little bit of dharma, right? So when they in the Mahamudra tradition, when we talk about, holding on, and then the opposite, there's ego, and then something that gets translated as egolessness, right? But there's dak dzin, which is holding on to dak, to self. And then there's dak me, which is what's translated as egolessness, which just means no holding on. You could translate it as beyond self, or, and you start trying to say it in words, and it's like, oh my goodness, that's so hard to put my head around it. So I like this a lot because it's very graphic. I think that's probably enough for today, unless somebody's got something catching fire. All right, I love practicing with you. This is really fun for me, and
I'm loving the practice and the discussion, and
Yeah.
I really And it's great to see you guys
Yeah.
first thing in the morning. It's a great way to wake up. Thank you.
Yeah. And I'll just note, we're 2 days into 18 days of practice, so there's more to come. So this isn't the end of the story. We're letting the story unfold. So more to come. See you tomorrow. Oh, may whatever good we did
Thank
benefit
you.
the world.
They benefit the world.
Yes.
All right, friends. Bye-bye.